Hello, hello. Good time of day, everyone. So, it turns out that time I needed to do yesterday was a bust, and I should have just finished this yesterday. But, today, I did finish up, and we can actually go to rigging. I know it's a, yeah, it got moved to today. Oh well. Anyways, first I'm going to do the trick, because I have to make sure that all of these are visible. Otherwise I can't select them and put on our basic things. So hit the magic button, turn everything off, turn everything on. I got all the wings done. I managed to get the text on them. They may not be the best, but I wasn't going to be fitting anything better on there. I fixed the sleeves a little bit. They're a bit odd still, I will admit that, but they're working. Got these little details on here. Otherwise, everything's the same. Yep. I know in the States they had Weebles, which wobble but don't fall down. I'm sure they had that toy everywhere because it's literally just a heavy weight in a plastic shell, so. Trying to think of any other details. I have the eyes have motion. There's 3 states. I don't think there's anything else, but yes, first off, as always, organize your workspace. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I basically just posted what I worked on, and I sat there and I duplicated these and rotated them and fixed up the edges a little bit. This one's a little rough, but I wasn't able to get a nice curve on it anyways, so you do what you do. So anyways, I forget if this is a paid version that you're allowed to make folders or not, but I'm going to make them because they make everything simple. My basic premise is that I have the angles that are usually controllable by the user, which I would have like mouse X or mouse X, mouse Y, or even hand X, hand Y if it's in there. Though occasionally I will do the hip X, which I probably will do, and or shoulder Y, which are derivatives, but they're high level enough that, whoops, I made a mistake. They're high level enough that getting to them quicker is easier than scrolling down the list. I went a little too far there. There we go. Eye folder. I don't use 90% of these. Like, technically iSmile could be used, but if you're using iSmile, you might as well just use regular Smile. But it's useful if you want, like, more fidelity on the model. And also there's like a good camera, or it's an iPhone. Malform's generally on there. Cheek I never use, because I think only like iPads can track it right now. I know that Android can track tongue out, which isn't a default parameter in here, but yeah. Yep. And the derived. Lately, I've been having like the hair and clothing physics be put into their own things, but I don't think I'll need that in there. So let's begin by starting on the eyes. This is my eternal nemesis, which is to say that Cubism will put a bit of fuzziness around the edges of pixels on every model that comes out, and their solution to this is just make it fuzzy on your own so you know what you're dealing with. Thanks, Cubism. Anyways, first going to separate these into, oh, those are eyebrows, into right and left eye, open and closed. I've gone through and made happy and neutral closed eyes, so I have to select 2. Same for the left side. Every time I touch this, it's going to mess up the thing. Also, I didn't separate the hair flaps. That'll be fine. Oh, left eye closed. I didn't go as far as I went with other models and, like, you know, give 3 types of mouth opening. Mostly because I want to play with these. I have ideas and I want to carry them out. Oh, I should also grab the right eye, scalia, the eye whites, the actual eye. Right eye open. I have thoughts and ideas on what I can do. I'm going to probably use a bit of body Z, which I realized I've been doing backwards all this time. Solara. Yeah. Solara. Left eye open. Okay. So for the most simple part of this, let's go in here. And we're going to set this at... I did try to do some testing to see if I could get the little window that pops up, but it is so inconsistent on tracking. And sometimes they'll just keep the little thing up even past using it, so you're going to just have to deal with it. Also, I can't spell. I don't care enough. So that side's on, this side's off for open. So what I meant by having 2 types, this is the anime smile. This is what everybody is familiar with. It makes absolutely no sense. This is the normal, or not smile, closed eyes. This is what everybody does because I don't have my secondary A sprite up. I have multiple A sprite installations because I bought it off of Humble Bundle, which allowed you to have a Steam key and be able to get downloadables. I will shill that all day long because they deserve that money. A sprite also, if you're technical enough, you can compile their beta version, but they'd rather you buy it, but they aren't going to stop you. They have that up on GitHub. So anyways, Eyes 101. At least in anime girls. Basically, you know, let's do it this way. The eye is a ball. It's spherical. You have a bottom eyelid down here that does try to cover a little bit of the bottom of the eye. Then you have your upper eyelid, which does the same. Now, the naive idea of how you blink is that it's brought down this way, and this comes up to meet it, like in the middle. Not so. For whatever reason, probably because you should always be looking at the ground more, so you don't trip. When you close your eye, this goes up to about 1/3 of your eye, and this travels a lot more. And because of that, that means where they join, it's going to be on the lower half of an eye. And as I said, an eye is a sphere. So what happens when you have a straight line on a sphere that's more down than in the middle? It's down like that. If it was in the middle, it would be just like a straight line at you. If it was higher, it'd be rounded up. And that's my 101 for the minute on eyes and why it's like this. Da-da-da. Where was I? Ah, yes, I was getting back into Live 2D. I'll fix this up in a minute. I'm probably just going to hard apply the smile or the mouth form parameter directly on that. I try to avoid putting stuff on the parameters, on the actual meshes, because I found out, I thought it was more, but you only have 3 parameters you can shove on anything. So it's best to have deformers and other stuff load. Mouth form, to the left is frown, going up is smiling. It feels like most other riggers don't go so heavy on using mouth forms. Unless there's like V-Bridger involved. And probably unless they're actually paid to, because it's real easy just to make them only work off of toggles. You don't have to worry about any odd in-betweens, which there are a lot of. Okay, now I'm going to do something that's a little bit dumb. I got eyebrows in here. I got the eyebrows in here. Okay, one second. Get out. This isn't going to make a difference because I'm using the left and right as toggles and not deformers. And why that makes a difference. See how large it is? Now each one of these squares does less to the textures overall, because like up here nothing goes on because it was covering that. I can resize them, but not going to bother. I'm going to have this be right eyelash mostly open. Right eyelash almost closed. And I'm only doing this so that I don't have to deal with any single transformer having a part in the middle that like, oh, I'm only on for this section right here, because I find it easier to work with. Your mileage may vary. Left eyelash almost closed. Also, you know, if I was a smart person, I would have been making this be sprites. Maybe next week. Maybe midweek. Although I do want to try and do some programming this midweek. Maybe actually get the floors working in that one thing. Anyways. So, it's past this point, because this is where these are actually on. And I'm going to pick that it's going to be at 3. That it's going to be the almost closed eyes. Did I not set those? Anyways, let me finish this up. So, pinch that together. So in this little region, it's the almost close. Wait, I did this wrong. I can fix this. It's a simple fix. No, I mean it's terrible. It's going to take hours. Mostly open. What was it? You take what you expect it to be and you double it by 2? Are these not on over here? These? Okay, they're just on all the way. Cool, I can work with this. Why can't I edit that? Hello? Okay, fine. I will do it the silly way. Pop. I'm going to extend this to get finer control. Usually I can just select this. Why is opacity? Did I click something? What's going on here? I can select over here. Yeah, this does not want me to edit it. Did I... This is the usual what key did I hit wrong and why is it doing this? So, can I make a new one and actually be able to edit this in the standard way? That does not include doing Weird stuff? Yeah, those ones are... Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, these can't be edited for some reason. Oh, no, don't care. I'd rather have a tool that takes 3 more steps than sometimes breaks down because you didn't do the right rituals for it. Okay, now we got the eye closed and eye almost closed. Now for the final ones, I'm just going to put it straight on here. Oop, wrong one. There we go. So we have the mid and fully open. I called it up this time because I guess I was feeling whimsical. So I'm going to put this at 45 for giggles today. So I'm going to select both mids. You're not going to be on this side, so set you to 0. We're going to select the full one. You're not going to be open for mid. And this is the whole reason that I have it set up like this. It's just so I can have these two extend both ways without having a middle part. I don't know if it's more efficient, but it keeps things simpler in my brain. And getting things simple and actually being able to finish them is good. Did I miss the... I must have missed the right one. Are you not? Okay, I missed setting that up. There we go. Now we got a full blink cycle. The next thing to do is to get these clipped onto the scleria. And I do that by just selecting all the left ones. And on a normal clip, that will mean that they can only be displayed while on there. The other is the inverse or reverse mask, which means that it will be basically hidden. There is, once again, weirdness on the very edge of stuff, because why not? Why would they ever bother having a clean clip through stuff when they can have a fuzzy edge on everything? Now, the clip does not care about opacity. So if I were to turn off this right one... Oh wait, that's almost close, my bad. I want the full one. So this one that extends all the way, even if I turn its opacity to 0, you see there's a line here? This doesn't care. It does not care at all. So, in order to work this correctly, I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to do some deformation on 45. So once it gets to 45, this has to be squeezed so that basically it disappears. Now I could do an alternative thing where I just throw it way above her head, which is funny, and I will do it often for some setups. But I could also just squeeze it in there so it's there if I need to readjust. And I don't have to play weird games with where it might be. So that one's solved. So it closes. But now the middle one is still there, and you can see because that's poking out. So I grab the mids, and I do the same thing, but this time at 3, because that's where I keep the almost closed setup. So on this part, it will... There we go. It will squish down into that final pixel. And I cinch those together on the value adjustment. So now, whoop, whoop. However, it's all still on one single thing. By thing, I mean warp. But I could simply just go to here since it's all extended out, and I just hit shift up and don't care. I go over to the right eye closed, select that. And now everything that I have selected is currently being selected on this line. I can go to change, and I can go to right eye open. Boom, boom. Simple. Now, for that smile stuff, I don't, excuse me, I don't have the mouth set up to have the difference between like a frown or a happy smile, nor do I have it in like the fidelity of an image that I would like, you know, do cheap things like curve up the lips or curve down the corners of the lips. So I'm just going to have it too as being smile. So once it's past this point, it's smiling. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select the happy one. It's off on this side. It's on this side, or it's off on this side for normal. I put in the capstones because it should be continuous. And I go 2.01. I close one of the eyes. Now it's happy. Now it's normal. Happy, normal. Anime happy that does not actually exist, normal. Capiche. Simple enough. Alright. Now, I'm simply... I'm going to put these into a warp. Mostly because that's how I keep everything... Wait, that's the right eye. Usually, when I do eyes for like any like complete models, I'll have like sparklies or heart eyes or whatever on there. So it kind of helps that they're in a warp and like nothing really extends past the edge of the eyes. And if it did, I would be grabbing it on the warp anyway, so it'd just be a little bigger. Now, this isn't too hard, but it can get a little tricky. Simply just going to drag this over so about the edge of the pupils at the edge of the eye. See if this looks alright. Also going to adjust for the weirdness of Live 2D not cutting stuff correctly. Yeah, it looks pretty alright. Oh wait, I'm in the middle. I'm going to change that to -30 because, or adjust it. Change is when you want to move between two. Adjust is when you want to change the parameters in the rat. Oh, it's a 1? -1 to 1? Okay. I thought this was like a -10 to 10. Because that's how it goes. So I go over here. Motion mirror. It jumps over there. You look left and right. Now for eyeball Y, I keep it in the middle because the motion cornering is going to come up where I can actually synthesize the corners. It's basically taking a dumb in-between of all the cardinal directions that be on this. Now, I can go pretty much all the way down with the eye because I think I only pull up like 1 pixel on the bottom eyelid. Now for this one, I have to keep in mind how far this goes. So I think I'm going to keep it at the mid one because it should be there decently often. I think I'm going to just have it peek right into here. Which, I mean, isn't that far. Let's give it 1 more pixel for flavor. And I think technically you wouldn't see it looking up if you have your eye closed most of the way anyways. So, going with that, and I hit the synthesize corners, which is going to let me synthesize the corners. Now then. So when I go down, it just goes over left and down, which doesn't make sense on a round surface, so I have to adjust a bit. And by adjusting, I mean like pull it over a pixel. And like move it up 1. Then I go up to X, select that, motion mirror. Because it's at the bottom, it will move it over this same position. It'll flip across the X-axis. And it'll be just the same for the bottom one. Now we have a bit of a roll. Going up, we don't have anything like that because the keyframes are different. But it's the same idea. We go up here. We move this over a pixel. Try to keep it play with the fact that Cubism hates pixels. I think we will move it down one. Technically, this is like, you know, very square cardinal movement. So it has like diagonals technically, but with a person piloting it, it isn't that bad. Whoop. Now we have all the angles. And even though technically it is going diagonal on the corners, it looks like it's rolling. That's what we want. Now for mouth stuff. This may be useful later. It may have to do a little bit of technical changes as it moves around. We're having the mouth open. Same thing as I was doing with the eyes. So generally, so it isn't too horribly sensitive, I have mouth open start at 1, so at 0.1, so past that. I used to do it at 0.5, but I think it's too small, so the mouth is always like mid-open, I feel like. A better camera and better tuning will probably not have that, but that is not the case all the time. So I'd rather give it a little bit room of slop. I mean, if you're whispering, you could say you're doing the ventriloquist act where you're not actually opening your mouth. Anyways, so we have that set up. I'm going to say 35 because I only have 2 things to go, and the mouth should be open most of the time. The mid is kind of a transitional frame. Sort of like the almost closed, though I kind of have that big for this one. Anyways. That's a 6, not a 5. 0.351. Now we have the mouth open. Wah. Do a quick save. Pop it into here. There's not going to be any movement, but I just want to see that nothing like sticks out that I'm missing. This is the most basic setup. Pretty much all my old models were running off of this, and then I just have the like face mask move a little bit for directionality. And that isn't that excuse me. That kind of worked, but wasn't the best. But I don't see anything wrong right now. Might be a little bit of off pixels with the blinking. Yeah, I push one down. That would be something I fix in the texture. But I'm not going to touch anything in that right now. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, in the, I guess it's fine. The eye is closing. But I probably could shave off this pixel here. Anyway, let me get these because I always forget to. And I hate you, edge of pixels. I hate you so much. I'm going to move this up a little bit so they're kind of hidden. Didn't I have both of them selected? I want to do the magic of moving this to the default. Return to your origin. Okay. I have both these suckers selected. I'm moving up a little bit so that this disappears. And I'm just going to go directly on these mesh. Am I going to turn the eyes? Like, I could actually technically have these skew when she's happy. Yeah, let's do that. I was thinking of having multiple eyebrows for that sort of thing. And I'm going to just put a Y there for the position. Oop, And I lost the left one. There you are. Where'd the right one go? Did I call them both left? There you are. So, as usual, I go to Brow Y. I make sure that the middle's set up so I can always have something to return to. This goes down. I think it's more useful to have just a little bit going down and like 2 pixels going up so that you can really sell surprise because, you know, VTubers freaking out is clickbait central. Okay, and as I said, I wanted to do a little bit of stuff, so I'm going to purely work off the right one. Right smile adjust. And I said that at Malform before that 2 was going to start smiling, so I'm going to select this. And I'm going to go into my favorite distort tool. I'm only going to select this half, and then I'm going to push the other half up. I don't want... Oh, wait. I can do it all in this. So I shear this down. Oh, wait, no. I shear this up and the other side down. I'm going to basically reverse this for frowning. Okay. Now this is doing what I say I don't like doing because I don't have much of a choice. I'm going to down here at 3, -3. So this is going to be the edge of normal, and this is going to be it frowning. So go back in here, distort, have this come down a little bit. Cinch these together. So -0.301 because we're on the negative side of the number line. And we drop in our edges so it doesn't disappear and has the capstone keyframes. Now then, I could have this be a little more smooth, but pixel art. Things need to be a little chunky. In my opinion. I've done a bit where they have not been. So I'm taking this outside. Now this is on the master canvas, where like basically the extents are the corners of this, and it's going to respect this as the middle. When it was inside this other deformer, it was the same size, so if I were to flip it, it just flipped like right there. However, I want it to land on the other eyebrow. So I go flip after right clicking that. Mouth form I don't have to change, flip horizontally, and there we go. So now we have this transformer. I'm going to drag it down to left eyebrow. I'm going to rename it left smile adjust. And I'm going to drag the left eyebrow in there. So now they can change a little bit. It's a little bit, but it's enough that you probably will notice. Hopefully, kind of, sort of, maybe kind of. So now, the basics of the head is rigged. This would be, well, I don't have the service up because I don't have enough models for it. Something akin to the simple, like, VN. Like, technically, Girls Front Line 2, but more pixelated. Where basically the face kind of moves and there's maybe a little bit of movement on the body. But it's rather stiff. It's like a VN portrait, but has eyes closing and all that. Moving around. Okay, now that we have that, I have to figure out what I'm doing for the rest of this. So, I don't think I'm going to have a lot of hip movement. That just doesn't feel like Ina's style. There's probably going to be a lot of tilting. So first off, I am going to start grouping up the arms in my standard setup, which has some problems I found out, but I'll live. So I grab everything underneath the arm group. Can I select everything under there? Nope. I was hoping. Alright. Everything but the vest. Oh yeah, I did each individual finger, which worked out really well compared to how often I just sit there and curse at it for a while. So I grab this, we call it arm group. And now here's the weirdness that I do. Arm group positional. And I'm going to try... Oh yeah, this is uneven. Oh, this is going to be even more fun. Anyway, I positioned this kind of in the middle of the back. This is so if I have any sort of tilt up or down and like I squish the body, these don't squish as well. We'll get back there in a minute. Next off, I'm going to group up the head. So we have all the eyebrows, all the mouth. We have the hair, we have the goggles, we have the goggles shine, we have the flap, we have the head itself. I did not make a back of head. Hopefully this doesn't bite me. We don't need the vest. So we have all this, but we're missing the back of hair. Now this goes into Transformer. This is going to be called head. I'm going to make a head positional, just like before. And I'm going to put this kind of right here. Same rationale. Now, what isn't the same rationale is grabbing that and the neck so that I can have a neck deformer. And then I'm going to have a neck positional. Same reason going down. But I may want to actually, like, you know, shrink the neck as you look forward. So, that's the whole reason. So we got all this. Next, I'm going to put the wings into their own system so I don't have to bother with them. I have to get the text. I really didn't call it right. Let's fix that. Okay, there we go. That was kind of a pain in the butt, but it wasn't the worst. No, it's a wing group. Alright, once again, put a positional on there. In a perfect world, it'd be right on top of the other one, but it's kind of hard to do that. I'm just going to have it kind of around here. Now this one's going to be a little different because I'm probably going to actually put, using the breath, have this like float up and down a little bit to give these like, you know, magical yada yada sort of stuff. Whoops, back ahead did not go in head. And let me fix that. I don't think there will be any issues dropping it in there because the head already has extents all the way down here, all the way out here in the top of the halo. Okay. So now we have, how are we going to do the rest of this? These chunks are going to be attached to upper body because if the shoulders move, these should drop down or move up. So I need to get the vest. I need to get that. I don't need the belt buckle. I don't need the skirt. I don't need the lower body. I don't need the feet. But I do need the back and sides of the jacket. Oh, I need to steal from arms the jacket. They went in there on accident. My bad. Yeah, they're there. No, I don't need those ones. I need, there they are. Fronted jacket and the wing. This is was a mistake on me setting up the hierarchy when I was drawing it. Oh, I didn't split the upper arms. And I didn't split those. Crap. Well, let me at least move these, and then I'll do the quick load of split and my standard little complaint at the screen for 10 minutes. Okay, let me give that a save. And let me open it back up. Mistakes were made. And something to note on here is that these are split into front and back. There's a matching half that's behind this, but it's being covered by this and that. So, like when I have some physics and like this goes up, it doesn't obviously like, you know, have a gap there. Left feather back. There we go. Grab that. Okay, and what did I say? The upper arms. Left shoulder, left upper. Yep, I did it. And I did it. Didn't do it for the shoulders, but I did it for the arms. I always miss a couple. What I really want is just a way to just go through this. It does it that time, but every other time somehow it moves something. Oh well. Okay, I'm going to have to go to this screen for a second because the script wants to tell everything about the computer as you run it, and it'll be captured by OBS. Okay. Now then, I want to open GIMP. Because the script, while it does make a readable Photoshop document, it's not readable by Live2D. Don't know why. It probably screws up something specific in the header, and it doesn't like it. I still need to pop it open though to change the screen, the pixel resolution, and just like increase it. Did I do a ×8 on this one? I think I did. Oh well. Usually I do it at ×16 or ×32 if I was properly doing this. So that I can get as much... I could get as little fuzziness as possible on the edges. That's probably why I'm seeing so much of it. Because if I was doing it at ×16, the stuff that I was seeing up here would be halved. Like this little sliver right there would be halved if this was if this original sprite size or pixel model size was double to was at, this is at 8 right now. If it was at 16, this would be halved. If it was at 32, this would be halved. If it was at 64, it'd be halved even more. But they're huge for no good reason, and I kind of hate doing that. Anyways, so now that I have made a Photoshop document, let me go back into this, drop this in here. I need to update the model. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to replace the model. And now we get some new things, hopefully. Yep, it didn't do it for the arms. And I hate this. I know a trick to do it, though. So anyway, I'm going to drag this down into arms group. It acts weird sometimes, and I don't understand why it annoys me. Okay, so the trick... Right shoulder. Oh, you're going to do this crap to me. Okay. Okay, fine. I don't have any sort of directionality on this, so I can just flip it. I don't know why it doesn't want to bring in the other one, but I can just go copy pasta. Call you right upper arm. And just flip you, and everything will be fine. Because everything is symmetric. Oh yeah, this is in arm group. 1 second. I need to bring this into the main drawing so it doesn't take into account this. Just the selection in there. So I hit OK and it flips over there. Now I need to drag it back into arm group, which is asymmetrical as per the entire thing. Anyways, it's all fixed. We don't ever need to think about it again. I still find it weird that it does that stuff. Just import the layers. Don't make decisions. You see a layer that's not in there, import it. Though it'll decide sometimes that it doesn't want to import it because reasons. I don't know why. It's imported the rest of the stuff. Anyways, so all this was so I can get... It's funny because they're both the left upper arm and the little thing down here. So we got the feathers out, we got the sides out, awesome. Now we close this down. We grab everything that's going to be... Didn't that break? Okay. We're going to do this. Did I not break apart the feather stuff? I did. But it's being a pain in the butt and not recognizing it as actually being a thing because reasons. I just wanted to import the stuff. Let me just make sure. No, we do have left and right feather. Okay. Then why is it one that's that... Okay, whatever. Into the void with you. We're good. You can't see this because I have a sprite up. Okay, go away. So, now those are separated. Everything's hunky-dory. We don't have to worry about anything. I'm going to just select everything that is part of the upper body, which is going to include the jacket back and the jacket sides. And so we make this upper body warp. It's probably going to just become an XY, because I like to tell what parameters it's messing with. Once again, we make a positional right towards the bottom, which is very important because because these arms are going to get warped if I try to squish the belly to have it look like it's going forward. And that's a good spot. Okay, minimize that. Get the belt buckle, get the lower body. We don't get feet. I keep legs separated from the body in general because it just tends to work better. That's literally it, because I'm going to keyframe them to every position that like the hips could move around in. And I don't have to worry about like any squishing going down here, yada yada. Lower body group. Okay, and then we're going to just have leg group. Okay, first order of business is the basic head lean going off of the angle Z, which is to the left is head going to leaning to the left, like tilting, and head tilting to the right. So get up here. I'm going to call this angle Z now. I'm going to hit this button. I'm going to go over here, and go to one of my favorite temporary deformers, the rotation one. And I'm going to move this over here because you don't really extend when you lean. I guess you kind of do. It's a little painful, but I'm going to put kind of over here. That. I'm just going to go like... That's upper body. Ignore me. I want head. So I'm going to go underneath neck, and I'm going to go underneath this transformer and go into head. Boop, boop. It confused me because the hair is included, so it being extended down. Did not trip any alarms. I was on the wrong one. So, go right about here. Now, I'm not going to tilt it too far. I want it to tilt a bit. But I'm also going to move it over a little bit. So that's the action. And it looks kind of crap because the neck itself isn't rotating, which I will rotate next. So neck deformer, neck angle Z. And I'm just going to put this like down here. I'll fix that. Like that. Hit OK. And motion mirror it back. Go to default and figure out why the heck are you not in here. It's probably a really simple dumb one. Yeah, you're not in head. Okay, I missed grabbing and putting in the actual head stuff. Simple fix, just drop it in there, and now it rotates with the rest of it because it has the proper parent for that. If I was fancy, I would also be able, when I go into the physics setting, to link VTuber Studio to this so that I can, wiggle about. But I find any animations I do or try to do it terrible, so I don't think it helps. And I'm going to focus on the ones I can think of while posing. We'll just do whatever random stuff. I think I'm going to just change it down a little bit. I don't like the line on there, but I'm not going to be able to fix that unless I want to put in extra shading layers and like have it just above underneath here. But anyways. As a whole, does it look fine? I think I will have some tilt on the body, so there'll be a lot more movement going on. It's at the ugly stage, where things aren't going to look right till they all come together, so I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, I'm going to make a new parameter. I'm going to call it shoulder X. And this is mostly going to be off of head tilting or body position right to pull this over and tilt it. So on the upper body, shoulder X. I'm going to have this to start out with. It's going to be first just a bit of distortion because it gets a little bit of feeling into there. Looks like we're definitely going to have to fix the arms. And then I'm going to take these segments and do a little bit of rotating down. I'm going to go to the edge of the model. Just squish a little. Once again, at the edge of the model, just squish a little. And once again, I messed that up, so I'm going to change it to the -1 side, or adjust it to the -1 side. And we just flip this, motion mirroring. Now, this needs to change a little bit. So, I am going to... Oops, that's not how I'm going to do it. You know, I think I could probably just do this with distort as well. Maybe. So I want to lift this up, but I also want to tilt it. It might be best just to tilt this first. If I'm going that far, let's see how it looks if I just go like a little like this. And this needs to drop down because the shoulders come down a little bit. Yeah. I think first off I have to do a distort where I just do this. Pull this down a little so that I keep it a nice even across there. And then maybe pull this in just a bit. Does it look like it's matching up? This side isn't moving enough. That's not how you do it. Doesn't feel like it's rotating at the right point. So we're going to use the rotation tool because I can rotate it at the right point by putting the center point up there. And having it do that. Does that feel better? If it feels barely noticeable but not off, I'm going to take it. I'm probably going to add some physics to the bottom of this, but that can be more later. Now, the middle here is doing weird stuff because none of the body bends. Or none of the lower body. So we're going to have to compensate. So this is going to be shoulder X now. And that goes down like this. So first off, I'm going to do the simple, can I just do it with a distort? And make it feel right. Actually, not going to do it on this one. I'm going to grab these. So what's happening is that it's moving this right here. We can't have that. So I'm just going to grab these. Belt buckle I'm going to put on positional first off so that it doesn't warp weirdly. And it can just drop it right in the middle. Don't care. Anyway, I'm going to grab the skirt belt, and the body. I'm going to have this be lower body. Shoulder X. And this is cosmetic, quote unquote. Because I could distort this all day, and it's not going to change anything below it. Everything's technically cosmetic, but it doesn't give me more work. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to have to turn off the jacket in order to see some stuff, so I'm going to grab that. Boop, boop. Cool. That's exactly what I need. Go back down here. And now we match the sides. You know what? We may have to. Well, we can just move this all on its own, so it won't bother with that. But we're going to have to drag you into there after we put it at default. So get in there. So it goes over this way. Let's snake that over a little bit. And maybe just give this a teensy bit of rotation. just so it doesn't look too off. A lot of work to do, a lot of nothing. Okay. Motion mirror this. That belt is sliding a lot. Did I not motion mirror this? Okay, that's fine. We turn this back on. The front part. As soon as I find it. Going to let this thrash a little bit, just... Oh wait, I need to set it up. So, shoulder X. Not going to set the default inputs. I'm going to grab angle X. I'm going to use that as positional, so when it goes like left or right, it's going to like influence it, but it's not going to direct it entirely. Shoulder X, or no, not shoulder X. Angle Z and body X. So, as I said, this is going to be positional. This is going to be angle. This is going to be angle. 80% of it is going to come from the head tilting like that. You can't see it on this model because I have a bunch of things rigged to it. Anyways. We're going to add a basic one in here. It's going to be 0.8 so it doesn't shake too much. I'm going to give it a reaction time of 0.9 so it isn't as in sync with everything. And I'm going to have it output to shoulder X. Also, I should probably have the belly button rotate slightly more. I can do that. Let's let this move a little bit and just see how it works. As you can see, because of the head tilts, the hair just does whatever. And when we get to the physics stage, we're going to have a double pendulum. The first pendulum is going to be based off of the head tilt. And it's going to try to keep it even while the rest of it is like, you know, just it being physics. Okay. Now, I'm going to add another one in here, or derived. I think I want to keep it in here. Arm raise, because I just love doing arm raise. Though Ina isn't like a why put her arms all the way up kind of girl. She'll do it for the idol stuff, but I just don't see it for most of it. And this is going to suck because these are asymmetrical technically. So I'm going to have to extend out what this is to make sure to catch it. Whatever's like sticking out. I actually think this one's technically bigger and they fit in the same footprint. I might have to pull it in a little bit, but we'll get there. But I'm going to model one of these first. Grabbing the fingers suck. Really? Okay, we're doing this. It doesn't want to do the arms correct. Okay, this is going to be right lower arm, and this is going to be right lower arm 2 for the ID. I'm going to drag this outside of everything. Do the flip because they are symmetrical. If I was doing a more proper thing, I'd be crying, mashing my teeth because I'd have to figure out how to get it in. Because I usually add baked-in shading. So that causes a lot of issues with like trying to do the mirror. I'd probably even like save as a secondary Photoshop document and just import it in there. because that will always work. And I've re-imported the same thing as a different Photoshop document, and it causes havoc because they're named the same and they do weird stuff. But anyways. I'm going to hit this. As I said before, this might be control in order to pull this out without it being strange. So if this comes out a little bit more, there won't be too much weirdness, but overall this is the same. Why are you being weird? Do you just not have mesh? You have mesh now. Okay, we're happy. So arm raise. Just going to go up here. A mild bit of push down. All this for this amount of effect. Truly, truly worth my time. It actually is, because it makes the model more lively. So it goes like this, it goes like this. If I wanted to, I could put another joint in here and have these go out a little bit more, but as I said, this is a little asymmetrical, so I don't want to cut off more than I could chew for today. So now that I have this, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it outside because the arms group is asymmetrical. Therefore, it hates you. I'm going to flip this over horizontally. I'm going to call it left arm. I'm going to drag it back into its group and put the rest of these under here. And now, once you do that, it was at neutral, good. Huh? What's going on here? Things are being real. Oh! Wait 1 second. I dragged the wrong one out. Right arm. This is left arm. Now I flip it. Ignore me being silly. Now, I mean, that's a good 6-7, but not what I was looking for. Oh, did I move it? Okay, 1 second. I might have moved it when it was in neutral. And that's an issue because it offsets everything weirdly. So let me put it at default. Let me copy this. Let me paste this. Oh. Oh, okay. I see what's wrong. Right arm has been corrupted. My bad. So, I could use the one that I had accidentally messed up to be the left arm now. There we go. And the left lower arm did not get autoed, and I don't know why. Usually I save physics till the end, but I want to see this as it goes, because there's going to be a little bit of tweaking going on. I'm going to add a group. I'm going to call it arm raise. And it's going to be based off of body Z, which is how close the face is. Actually, it's how far away the face is to the camera. It's backwards to me. Because I would think getting closer to the camera would be an increase in its value, but it's actually a decrease. Going close to the camera is negative. So that's a thing to remember. And also body Y. Because, you know, when you go down, the arms go up because it's cute. So as body Y decreases, arm Y increases. As you go forward towards the camera, the arms raise. And I'm going to add a standard pendulum. It can be a little shaky, so I'm going to have it be at 85. It can be a little delayed, so I'm going to have it be at 85 as well, so it doesn't trigger off of any of the other body stuff I'm doing with the Y value. It can be a little delayed, and anything else that is reaction based off of Y going down, which would probably be the wings, will be at like 0.9. I like to not have them be at the same thing because it gets a bit weird. I don't like seeing things move at the same time when they're different parts of the body. Oh, that's why. I forgot to put any values in this. So this is going to be 60, and body Y can be 40. And this can go to negative 60. And this can go to 60. Oh wait, one's a positional. Okay. There we go, we get to see a little bit of arm go up. Still stiff as heck. But we can change that. Now, this is stuff I've been doing. Where's upper body? Oh! Oh, wait, no, this is fine. Because I have one that's just moving the meshes. I was confused for a second. So, upper body. We have our X stuff figured out. However, upper body face X. So as the face turns left and right, I want this to shift over and very little 3D effect. I'm going to increase the Y on this or the X on this to 7 spaces across, and I'm going to increase this to 7 so I get a little more resolution and stuff to grab. They have to match up, otherwise it's like trying to have this 100 by 100 square modify, have each one of those have finesse and all that. Try to modify onto a 2 by 2 square. That's exactly the same size. All your little finessing just disappears. You can always increase the resolution as you go down. But you can't decrease it without having issues. Unless you make it much smaller and it fits onto the spot it needs to be. But if they're the same size, you can only go up. You can't go down. Anyways, so I want a little bit of shear on here. I'm going to distort this. I'm going to pull this over a little bit. Going to push, whoops. Push that over. I'm going to need to have some adjustment on the other things, but it's how it's going to have to be. And a little bit on there. And then I grab this middle part up here. I guess the shoulders as well. And move that a bit over. This is so when the head looks left, it'll actually go a little more left. Now, to compensate for stuff, because I have to, go in here, arm positional, arm group, arm face X compensate. This is so I know it's because something else is screwing it up. Why are you out so far? There's like something invisible going on. I don't like that. What's in here that's like in the corner? There's nothing. We're remaking this. There we go. Much happier. So if this goes over here, this should be pulling back a little bit. So we're going to squish it this way, and then we're going to move it in. And we're going to move this just slightly over a bit because I'm faking the rotation of the shoulders. Slightly, very slightly. I'm not going all out I could do for this effect, but I'm going out enough. Okay, and I'm going to have a texture directly on these two, because this is the part that would move the most for it. Yeah. Do these not have, Oh, wow. I thought I grabbed everything. I guess I didn't. Boom. There we go. I'm also going to have to do a little bit because I have just the hint of ribs at the bottom of the bottom of the rib cage and the shoulders. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of that. Is that too much? I think I need to round that a bit. Cool. Boom. Okay, cool. Going to... Oh wait, this is the upper body. I can grab that. So... shift you like that a little bit. Shift you specifically like that. Bony parts move. There's no way to hide them. Parts that have bones show up, you have to pay attention to. Okay, and I'm going to inch you in a little so that you stay connected to the neck. I said a little, so I think I'm going to have to stretch it out. So stretch you that way. Grab you two and just kind of a little. Cool. It's all about the illusion of movement. And I think that I have to be specific on this one. Because this travels fine because the collar's all the way up there. So I need to specifically grab this, go into the compensate, turn right, and then I'm going to Control-Shift-Copy this so that I can paste it at this point. Like so. Okay, it just already was kind of awkwardly placed. I'm fighting a losing battle. Maybe this should be pulled up. Okay. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to try raising the jacket as it tilts that way. Left front jacket. I'm going to put thing on here. You can be 5x5. Left front jacket, shoulder, angle X compensate. If I had built this better and planned better, it might have worked better. Okay, first off, let us distort the top a bit. I think that's the ticket. Yeah, I don't feel as much issue with that. However, we have to go back here. Jacket back, face X, compensate. And we are going to squish that collar like it's a cat. You always got to make sure to squish that cat. Okay, let's give that a save. Let's have it thrash a bit. I didn't add any new parameters, so I don't need to see much, but I can just sit here and go, how does it look? Not too bad. I think I need more practice with doing puffy shoulders and like puffy jackets, I think. Oh, that was a weird movement. Some of the angle X doesn't look right because the head doesn't move yet, and that sells everything on it. This shoulder's going to kill me. Okay. Yeah, because it's like a... The jacket itself is a little weird to me because it's very, like, thin material for this. Wait. Oh, why is the shoulder involved? Oh, yeah, because the shoulder... Okay, one second. Okay, cool. Shoulder, or arm raise. Why are you disconnected? Oh, wait. Okay, first off, we're going to have to fix that. Let's toggle you off. Let's toggle you off. Let's toggle you off. Okay. Let's make sure this isn't disconnecting when the Y happens. Okay, so it's disconnecting. First things first, we have to make this work. So, where's my arm group? There's my head group. Once we solve this, we can actually see if we have other problems going on. But this is the first problem to solve. Otherwise, we're just going to be chasing our tail, solving a problem, and making another problem elsewhere. You know, I can also sell it slightly more. by having it rotate out. And then once again, have it rotate in. Right about there should be fine. I'd like for some of it to disappear. Wait, you can't be down that far. You sneaky, sneaky thing. Okay. Now we're going to hinge right here. We're going to push you down a bit. And then we're going to flip you. Like a turtle in the desert. Okay, that's being a bit weird. And that's being a bit weird. So this has to... So that attach... Oh, I see what I'm doing. No, I don't. Okay. This curves down, that's when... Okay, cool. And I don't need to flip this one. I made the mistake of doing that because this is... I've already... Oh, wait, no. I need to do that for the other side. I say. I'll get a toggle for this later. Okay, so you go over like this. And you need to go over and match up with this arm. And then I'm going to have it rotate slightly out. It's going to be asymmetrical now, and I hate it. Why are you... Nope, that is correct. Okay. Let's do this first. Okay. So... You're fine on this side. Okay, I'm going to select you. Rotate. Might have been better to do this arm by arm for this sort of stuff, but we're here. Okay, let's turn on all the stuff. Turn it off, turn it on. Yeah, the jackets need to be more involved. I'm going to take you out of your thing. And I'm going to group you two together. Jacket front face X. So you should move in a little bit. Yeah, this arm needs to move out more. I might need to rethink how I'm doing the arms on there and just do it individually. It looks fine on this side, oddly enough. Almost. Should have prepared more on the arms and sleeves. Maybe I just have to trash the angle X stuff. I think I will for right now. So, let's select out of you. That seems right. And right now we're just going to leave it be. It's something I do, but I think I messed up on how I have this all set up. This might need to have been pulled out a little more and this pushed in more and more set up, but we'll live. Anyway. Upper body Y. Now this is going to be a lean. So you go down. Select this, and we're going to squish in here, so go down like that. And overall, I'm going to just stretch out everything so that it can go up. Just a little bit of this. Now for the lower body. Lower body, Y. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. So it looks like it's changing a bit. Pull up the edges because of the skirt. Do I need to make it 7? Let's go 9. Oh, that was just everything. Okay. But grab the edges of this again so that I can have the skirt just change ever so slightly. So I have this go up a little bit. Is the skirt not... Is anything? Yeah, why? Weird. Very weird. Okay. That might also have been my problem. That I don't have this all set up. Oh, wait. Today is not my day, is it? Nope, that is correct. Okay. I just didn't put Y on the end. That's why. Okay, there we go. So I grab the edges. And I just have it go a little bit to make this look like it's going down. I'm even going to go so far as to grab this lower portion and pull it down a bit. I'm going to need to do some of that to the corners of this, but either way. I think that's a little much. Grab these just to round it out. And for this, I'm just going to lift up just a little bit. Okay. Is there anything on this anymore? No. You're now going to become body Y. As I said, the middle part should go down a little. You need to be 7. I need a little more on you since you're a little bigger. The edges go down. Oh crap, 1 second. I need to put all these things underneath that. Let's get these suckers done right now. So, right. You shouldn't be visible. Why are you... Okay, first off, we're going to clone you. Because seemingly, things are not working right. But I have the ability to flip on this, so I'm going to use it instead of spending 20 minutes to figure out why stuff is not doing the basics. I'm going to just drag you down. That should be far enough back. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to grab all the right ones. Going to put a... No, I didn't want to do that. Right ring positional. And I'll probably literally just have this be part of the physics too. This will be easy. And to get symmetry down, I'm going to copy paste it. Please flip. Thanks, I hate it. Positionals don't like flipping, so I'm going to take this, copy paste it, put this in here, flip this, which will in turn flip the ring underneath it, which is this this positional. So I can drag this back in because, yeah, Live 2D be like that. Because trying to flip it just flipped it on its one singular point. Like, it doesn't make sense. I wanted to flip in the parent space. Anyways. Did I not? Please get in there. Thank you. Okay, where was I? Ah, yes. The lean forward. So I need to have this go down a bit more to sell it. Probably means I have to have the back go up to sell it properly. I am going to like just shift it up a little bit. Too much? Don't think so. Okay. Now, okay, we got ya. Back, jacket, body, Y. So now I'm going to grab the internal stuff on this and just pull it up a bit. The illusion of round. Okay, I think I have to grab a bit more. Gotta make sure it's not detaching in a weird way, which it is. So I'm going to grab the edges. I can just use the arrow keys for this. There we go. I think as a whole, I can just kind of drop it in one. Okay. And I'm going to pull these down a little bit. Can I not grab it? Okay. And just a little bit up there. Looking nice. Okay. Let's see how it looks with some other motion. I'm really going to have to work on... Oh yeah, those are still being a bit weird. Okay. Back to you. We do have to figure something out for you. So you go in, but you can't go that far up, so I'm just going to squish you slightly. Whoops. I said slightly. Not like that. I literally can't because there's an edge there. Okay, we're breaking out the tools. I'm going to brush you into compliance. It feels more like an accent, but I can work with it. Sorry, I've been quiet, just trying to figure this out. I guess you have to peek up, and I hate it. Okay, so that is going down, so that makes sense. So this is going up, so this still has to go up. It's keeping the motion feeling consistent. That's too much of a movement. This is generally why I just only work with very simple manipulations, because once you get to this, you have to sit here and just mess with it for a while. This one doesn't have any problems because it isn't leaning out. Like, this should technically be over, like, a little bit more, but... oh well. Give it a save. Room. I think I might actually just jump straight into head, because I want to save the fiddling around with the wing stuff for last, because it's the biggest effect. And I have head tilts down pretty well on how to go through them. So let's just jump into what is one of the worst things to work on besides like mouth form. So this is going to be head face XY base. And why I say base is because it's going to be all the basic movement with no deformation. And I'm going to build upon like squishing the head so that this goes in when it looks to the left on those layers. Because otherwise, it's a lot of fighting. So we're going to move this over like to here. And then we're going to... Oh, no, we can't do that. No, no, no. This is angle Z. Why didn't I name it correctly? The world will never know. This is why you name things correctly, so you don't accidentally start stacking deformations on them. Wrong. Head, face, X, Y, base. Now then, let's go back to it. So we move out that much. That's fine. Now let's do one more. Now then, we mirror that across. And then we do going down and going up. So I'm going to go down like 2. And that should be good enough for going up. I'm going to synthesize the corners. As the eyes did before, the corners are going to be a little wacky because they're just going to be like straight cardinal taxi direction. And I need them to not be that because it will look bad. So I get that set up and I flip it. It's still going to look very... Oops. Very diamond in going through it. But the last step I do is that I will tilt it a little bit, and that fixes a lot of how it looks and feels. But I do that at the end now, so I don't have to fight with like rotation going on. So anyways, as I said, this is going to be a diamond now. It goes diagonal at the corners. That is fine. Now, onto the face. Will that include the goggles? Or would the goggles be more part of the head? Do face first. You can match it up later. So all this stuff is going to be moving. So this already looks like it's looking over, but you could push it by pushing it a few pixels. And then by squishing these suckers in. And making it look like it's rounding. Maybe just a little more for flavor. And we can pull this down like a single pixel. I don't want to do too much because, one, it doesn't have as much effect as I'd like. If I really wanted to have up-downs, I'd really have to work on them, but they don't feel the most impactful. And you want to put your time and effort. I don't have nose in here. Only I would notice that the pixel nose isn't moving. Where are you, pixel nose? I miss you. Come home. I actually usually do give like a little more movement because, you know, nose. So as you can see, like, oh wow, it's looking all three-dimensional-ish. And that'll carry a lot of it because, like I was saying yesterday, hands and face can carry your entire, like, old oil painting. And it's weird how it works, but it does. There's even some animation styles where you just animate the tips of the fingers. And it almost looks like it's a marionette of some sort. I've seen it done. And it confuses me how it works so well. Because if you go frame by frame and you look at like the actual fingers and all that and all this stuff, it's like horrible, but in motion it's great. But that's like, you know, animation 101. You trade individual frames for looking good in motion. You can't put two bad frames next to each other, though. That tends to just look bad. I don't think I need to do anything for the up and down. Current face is good enough. Is it? Are you sure? Okay, we'll still go with it. Now, onto the hair layer. Or the front hair layer. Which, she doesn't have a lot for me to work with. But I do need to bring the goggles with this. I want to make goggles their own group in case I need to do anything. You can be 7 across. So I might want to move them slightly more than the rest. But anyway, back to front of head. Hair cap. I don't know about the hair flaps, but we do need the side locks. Ears are going to be their own thing. Okay, so off the bat, why are you huge? Did I grab back here? I grab back here. This isn't going to work now. Back here will have to be its own thing, so I'll put it in here. Yeah, I must have accidentally clipped it. Okay. Cool. You could tell because of the reduced box size for the deformer. Okay, so first off, we slide this a little bit. Try and keep up with the nose. It's a good place to work with. And these side locks are big enough we can get away with that. Otherwise, we might have to work with like the hair cap and all that. And then we squish this a little bit. Not too much. Maybe even, oops. Maybe even pull this in a little bit more. Okay, and we mirror this. I don't think we need to do too much on the up and down. But we still need to at least make the attempt. The goggles are going to make it a bit weird, but with the very minimum amount of it, it has to be like that. And this one, we can probably do a bit of that. Oh, wait, crap. I didn't make the, okay. Save me, revert to origin. It's only going to revert to origin at this point, though. So I can put stuff back in here. Yeah, I think that's going a little too far. This is the one we'd like see it go up. Maybe a few pixels down. Okay, I think that's pretty okay. Now we synthesize the corners. I might do some tricks on cloning this in order to get more depth. But possibly not, because this is transparent actually. I think the going up is too much. Okay. If you aren't going to commit to it, just tweak it. If you're going to be bold, make it bold and work. Okay, I think this is subtle enough. It's fine. Let's get those ears working. Ears are, when they're the elf ears, the long ears, they're a little tricky. Basically, when this goes out this way, this ear needs to retreat in. And then it needs to shrink a little bit. But it needs to retreat because it's like literally going further away. This one's coming a little closer, but you don't want to squish it. This one needs to be squished because it's very much going behind the head. But if you squish this one, it just looks like it's doing the same thing going forward as it is going back, because it is. So, pick your battles. And my battle is just make it look good enough. I don't think I need to do anything on head up and down. I might though, because I'm a glutton for punishment. I think I shrink top this way. And then I shrink bottom a little bit this way. Now let's synthesize those corners. Okay. Do I even need to change the hair flaps? I think I need to have them on the y-axis, but the x-axis seems like just fine. They're kind of in the middle of the head, so they don't do much, though I could pull and push them in. But I think that might be more trouble than it's worth. As I said, they need to move down a little bit. And maybe squish a little bit this way. I guess I'll do this old trick. So, as I said, kind of like with the ears, you pick your battle. Do you want this one to go back this way, or do you want this one to go forward? And I'm going to choose this one get pushed back a little. Maybe not. Control-Shift copy, Control-Shift paste, Control-Shift paste. It might have been too much. Also, I think the up ones are just too out there. It's not looking up enough to justify it. Let's try this. And then we'll synthesize them corners. Much better. I don't like how it's sort of not... It doesn't have enough layering at top. I guess this would be the time to show the secret horrible thing. Copy-paste. Hair flaps, we'll call this fill. So we just duplicated the texture. Now, specifically on this texture, it's going to go over and we are going to move this out to give it some thickness. Since it is literally the same texture, we don't have to fight too much. So as you can see now, this doesn't look so paper thin before. It's a trick when you don't get enough hair. Like say Ina had a bunch of, you know, those spiky little things. And like on turning sideways, you didn't have anything like behind it. So like it feels like you have only one layer of spiky. You can duplicate it so it will turn slightly less and put it behind there. So the front profile is perfectly fine. When you turn sideways, you can have an extra spike that's like hiding behind something. But when it turns, you can start seeing it a little bit. And just fill out that way because you kind of need to. You need to stretch the material. It does not increase the texture cost of it. So what's in memory for the texture stays the same because it's the same texture. It's the same thing when like I mirror stuff over. Same texture. It does, however, increase computational costs because you're still moving crap around by having like parameters and transformers and stuff. But for little subtle things, it's nice. And as I was saying, like I can do it on this. So, copy paste. You are going to be fill, and you're going to be behind this, and you are specifically going to have it on the Y. So when it looks down, I can just move this up a little. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. Abort, abort. I messed everything up. Okay. So I can like move this up like a pixel. So it looks like it has some parallax going on. And I can also move this down a pixel. Just to give what it looks like. So this is it straight on. This is it looking up. I might need to push it up a little bit. Just so it doesn't like have that white line because it's splitting stuff. I went too far. There we go. But it has a little more thickness, that's all I want. If I was on a real model, maybe I could just like stretch out the edges, but I don't have enough resolution on a pixel model. Anyways, you, I think, need to really be on the Ys. Actually, no, you need to be on the X's. Because you need to be like the back of the head, and you need to move like this way. The onion ring. Yeah, and then I just have you move up a little bit here. And down a little bit here. Let's synthesize those corners. I feel like I'm going to have to screw with those corners. No, I don't think so. Okay, so let's motion mirror to return this to what it should be because they were exact copies before I decide to ruin everything. Okay. So I need to get back of hair to match up with this. Back of hair is basically reversed from all this. So when it turns head, or turns right, it needs to move left. And I'll go like right about here. Actually, probably one off. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Oh, let's nuke that. Oh, yeah, I have to compensate for all the stuff. So anyways, it moves over. I'm going to move it out here, and I realize I made a mistake by not having this go up. So I'm going to have to fix my mistakes by shearing this with distort. Push it in until it looks right. I might stretch this up a little bit. This is more of a mistake on my part in the drawing process because I didn't just go straight up on the back of the hair, which is what you want to do to keep everything sane. Okay, cool. Mirror that across. Everything's looking all right. I need to do stuff on the XY because this should all pull up, technically. Very slightly, but it should pull up. So I'm going to do just a few. I'm going to squish down this top because I've messed up on things. And now this should pull down. I'm going to pull down from here so the top bit doesn't undo stuff on the corners. And we'll see how that looks. Yeah, it's doing the weirdness here. So I'm going to stretch this up. Oh wow, okay. That's the wrong way to do that. We're gonna move this one. Okay, we have that, so we're going to flip the X side across. But also move this up a little bit so it isn't so much of a weird transition. Okay, let's see how it looks down. Okay, I think that's fine. And this is where it kind of all comes together. If I had a little bit of the angle X in the body, it looked better, but it's going to be fine. Now the real parts is going to be these and also fixing the physics on this, because the physics is not great. Because it's non-existent. Okay, cool. Now on to hair physics. So I'm going to go down here. Hair back is definitely going to need 2, so I'm going to replicate this and call it hair back 2. And I'm even going to make a third one because the hair is long enough that it kind of wants it. It's probably going to be more for the side ones, but anyways. So hair, back hair phi 1. And what we're going to do, expand this, yeah, okay. So it's going to be all the way tilting left. In order to replicate that, we're going to tilt left. And we're also going to use the shoulder, which should tilt left a little bit. And this is going to be making sure it stays down. Because this is the problem you see with like the 3D models, is that the hair is just straight off there and it doesn't have physics because it'd melt their computers. That's pretty much why. So like when they do like look down, their hair goes up. In live 2D, they can get away with it because it isn't that much. It's just looking at one 2D transformer. And this is what it does. Also, I am going to increase this to be 9 going this way. Also going to increase this to be 9, just so they match. And moving all this back for a second so that I can grab where I'm going to start turning everything. Okay, get back over there. Thank you. So, going to go to the edge of the hair up here. Tilt it a little bit. Well, actually more than a little bit, but that much. Okay, let's go down to the next row. Or skip a row. Not going to matter too much in the end. If you want a really good transition, you just keep going one at a time and make a million of them, but we're going for good enough right now. And then we're going to go where the hair is and turn it a little more in. And now that this is easily grabbable and I can get a row without getting... Get all the ones I want? Okay, so we have this, we have over here. Is there anything on top? By getting like a corner over here? Nope, cool. And this one can finish it off. And just for a bit of flair, little bit of distort, and push it over there to taste. Okay, now that we have that, move on to physics B. After we flip this, where are you? There you are. Okay, set to default. Macro physics 2. Back hair phi 2. Basically going to be the same thing, but we don't care about the tilt of the body. The third one is where we're going to get like really interesting. This one's going to go all the way down. Actually, I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to give a shear to this. And then I'm going to grab this section over here to do an even more bit of rotate and probably pull up. So rotate this, then pull it up a bit. We don't want it growing in mass, and that's kind of counteracting that. Though, given it's the outlier on a second physics pendulum, it's not going to stay there long. But you don't want stuff to look like it's growing. Now, hair back main phi 3. This is where we're going to try and get some curling in here. What I mean by that is that I'm going to grab this layer, put this up here, and really crank it over. Now, the back of hair isn't going to do the curling, but the side ones definitely are. And just go up like that. And then we motion mirror it. Okay, cool. We have that going both ways. Hair, back, side. Whoop, wrong one. Now we grab this. We go out like this. And then we start making it curl. Okay. A little wild, but the extreme should be. Okay, now I think we're going to do the last bit on the base that I was talking about, where it is... Okay, here it is. Where on the corners, it's going to tilt a little bit. So you go up like this. And then I go right about here and tilt it. And since the rest of them are already set up, the tilt's going to be transferred perfectly to them, so I don't have to worry about it. It's the greatest discovery I made in making this more efficient, instead of rotating every single every single child layer by hand, which sucks. Order of operations. Bop, bop. Oh, wait, hair physics. These are just moving randomly. I'm going to do basic hair. Hair short. I'll modify it. So first off, body Z is going to be leaning in and out, so that has to go away. I am going to add shoulder X because that is being captured in this. How much, I don't know, but it's also going to be an angle. So this is going to be negative 60. This is going to be 60 because I have 2 in there. Otherwise, I get away with 30. So let's make this 7. We're going to turn down the shaking a little bit so it doesn't look like good old or bad physics. And we're going to duplicate this twice. We're going to make this a little longer, and then this a little longer. Turn shaking down for these ones. It's going to get all the shakiness from the first one. And then I'm going to import hair back 1, 2, 3, and it should just put them on properly on the pendulum. As you can see, maybe even 3's or 8.5 is a little too much because it just kind of like throws everywhere. I might even decrease these to 7, 5, and 7. So it's going to be getting thrown around by all the stuff moving. Maybe put reaction time up there. It's those movements that kind of I don't like. %, shoulder, 80% angle X. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's try going a little extreme and put it 0.8s. Because it feels like it's too plastic and it's just moving too quickly. Maybe put the conversion down to 1. Reaction time is when it starts, conversion's when it ends. Whoops. I think that's working. I don't like that. Do I have any of these backwards? Okay, let's pause for a second. You know what? Let's drop that completely. Put this at 100. Okay, so that's coming down correctly. These are too stiff. That's the problem. Point. Let's have these at 1. Yeah, I think that's doing it. Can I explain what I did? Not really, because pendulums are pain and you just learn some numbers. As I said, I like being around 8, but this also slows it down when you have it like be at a low shakiness. This definitely slows it down because that's the whole point of it. Convergence is not one I play with too much. If I had a reaction time of 1, I'd play with convergence to like have it take a while to get to the end point, instead of start taking a while to get to the end point. It's two halves of the same thing. I don't know why it worked. They put it at 1.5. If that even like makes it faster, because it seems like it has to go faster than it should, but or than it's possible. But who knows? The mysteries of Live 2D's engine is vast. Okay. Anyways, on to the next thing. So hair is going to have 2 as well. I'm not going to make 3. And this is going to be front, of course. So we grab the front hair and we make front hair 5. Also, I need to get the back of the head to properly move a little bit, but that'll be in a second. So once again, we have Z all the way over here. We have shoulder all the way over here. And we need to make it look like this is falling correctly. Since we don't have as much... With back hair, we can get away with a lot. this is more going to be like we're just shearing stuff. So I'm going to grab about the middle here, which is going to suck, given this part, but good enough. Use a bit of distort. And that should work. Oh, I clicked off that somehow. Please. I know I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, reset the defaults. And this is pretty much going to be weak sauce of what we did compared to the rest, but it's short hair. So we go down, go boo. And I am going to use distort again because it is my second favorite tool. Temp deformer rotate is my favorite in this. I'm going to grab up here. I didn't want that. I'm going to grab up here, grab rotate. Put it up here. Tilt up a little bit. I'm going to grab like the last outer edge over here so I can swing in. And that has to go on this edge, otherwise it'd do weird Pac-Man opening stuff. It's like a hinge of a door. If the door swings on the other side of the hinge, something's wrong. Okay, on to side locks, which should be rather quick. Once again, replicate, edit, 2. Then we make side lock phi 1. And going to grab... Well, these are going to be individual. It's weird with this. But we get back over here, over here. And we're going to do multiple rotates to get this to feel right. So on the inside, we grab there. A little bit out. Little bit out. Little bit out. Like so. And then on this side, because otherwise it'll look weird hinging, we do this. And just going to do a little bit more to the bottom, because while it's hair, it's also a squishy, almost fleshy thing, so don't have to do too much. Okay, reset to default. Flip this over. Side lock phi 2. For my second favorite transformation, temporary. Distort. We get to do a little bit of this. And then we get to fling these out. And I'll test both of these at the same time. It's not worth testing one. Not like back hair, because you see a lot of back hair move, but this is more subtle. Whoops. That wasn't subtle. Ignore that part. Okay. Okay. Bees. Thank you. Okay, and that was done on the middle because I clicked hair back. The more things never change. Okay, now it's over there. Now we can mirror it. Also, technically, you could kind of do some of these on the same thing, but I don't like it. Alright. Hair front. Input head. Short hair. Send you to the pit. Minus 30. 30. I'm going to take that shaking down to 8. I'm going to duplicate this. Output hair front. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this and call this hair side. And we're going to tweak these a bit by making this 4 and 5. And then switching over to hair side should prompt me to switch the second one as well. And there we go. Maybe we could have it turn out a little bit more on the tilt, but I think it looks fine. As I said, it's squishies and not so much hair. So it respects gravity, but it doesn't do much. Okay, and I said I was going to play with back of head because I complained before that back of head should be involved in head movement. This should move out just a little bit. And then head go down. I'm going to actually stretch it because I don't want it to interfere with anything else. So this goes up just a little bit. And on head go down, this can go down a little bit. If I had a line in here for, like, you know, the hairline, I'd be trying to move the middle of this around so that it would properly, you know, like, go everywhere. It'd follow, like, once again, it'd follow the nose. Because the nose is a great reference. Okay, synthesize the corners. There, looks better. Now, so I'm going to do just barely enough on the shoulder on these because they like will wiggle a little bit. The skirt, I might have 2 bits so that it can, or 2 parameters so that it can turn this way. Same with jacket. Now, these also need to have some physics on them. It's probably going to be a third pendulum on the jacket tilt. And then I want to have the maybe a little bit of floating toggle so that like Ina can float up. And then I'm going to put the stuff on here to make those expressive. So I am going to hit this. I'm going to say skirt physics, and I'm going to make a new folder called clothing physics just so I can easily look it up, and it can be blue. And then I'm going to duplicate this. Also, technically I can have a Y physics, but let's do this one at a time. This is the basic XY. Skirt 5, script 5, 1, I guess I'll put the 1 there. Angle X, shoulder X. This is kind of backwards. That's fine, though. And it should be the same on the other way, so we can just reset this. Except I can't. Nope, adjust, not change. I keep doing the same thing. I set it up and then I don't change it. Boop, boop. And flip. Okay, now we get to the fun skirt physics. Where one, I can grab this and I can do a basic shear, or I mean, distort. I guess technically it is a shear. Just go a little like this. Then grab a little bit more for the side. And pull up a little. Grab this. Rotate it. Push it over. Squish this a bit. Once again. Oh, nope, I actually did do it right. And then flip it the other way. There we go. Basic physics. We're going to do the same for the coat bottom here. Coat bottom. Physics. Coat bottom. Physics. And then we're going to replicate that. I don't think it needs it because I think this doesn't twist as much as the skirt does. Okay, so grab these. No, I want you. Actually, I need a third one at the very least. For these little guys to rotate on. Okay, that's fine. Alright, 5-1. Why type more words when less do? So first off, does this change anything? A little bit. We already have some things baked in. But giving it a little bit of physics will help. Because it'll move. That's the main issue. Main thing. So I'm going to tilt this down a little bit. We have our basic deformation from higher up on this stack. So we'll just work with it. And we're going to have to do the same for the back one, because this is going to mess up everything. But we just need to match in that case. Okay, put it back there, reset. You can tell I don't actually hit the reset button that often. It's at the top. Okay. Coat bottom phi 2, where we're probably going to shear half of this. I'm just going to put a little bit of rotation on this one. Please. There we go. Okay, and now for these suckers. I'm going to just make it rather easy. -8. Okay, nope, it's 8. Oh wait, no, these guys would be exactly the same. Rotation doesn't flip. Okay, hold on, hold on. 8. -8. Cool. Okay, let's get you, buddy. Jacket back phi 1. And all I need to do is match up, which I could probably just do by shearing. This distort's very useful. Okay, I just probably need to move a little bit. So let's just move you until you intercept. That looks fine. We'll go with that. Motion across. Oh, nope, we don't want it on this one. We could, but I don't want to make sure all the corners are right. Because I tend to lose track of how corners work when they aren't XY setups. Or X setups with a Y change. Like, this effect is on. Okay. I think this one's going to need to stretch for this. And then, like, do a bit of rotation. Somewhere right there. Okay. Yep, perfect. This is going to need to squish, and I think I could just distort it down. Cool. And then flip that across. And we don't need to do anything for the third one, because that's mostly for the feathers that bounce around. Okay, let's set up skirt X phi. Okay, and angle Z is going to be the main one, oddly enough. And I'm going to have a bit of body X just to have it in there as a positional. I'm going to have it like at 30%. It's just going to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, clothing light. We'll import that. We'll put you down to 0.8. And we'll duplicate you. Oh, we only need you twice. On output, we are going to bring in skirt physics 1 and 2. They go into the proper place. We're going to duplicate this as a coat bottom physics. It's basically the same thing. Import heavy. Yeah, you're going to yell at me. 0.8. Duplicate. And you're going to be... Oh, we need one more. You're going to be rather small. You're going to be like a 4. And I'm going to have you at 8.5. Your reaction time could be like 9. And we're going to change you to coat physics. And we're going to add one. It's going to be coat physics 3. It goes in there. Okay, we're going to hit posing and see what happens. Okay, cool. One last thing. This is going to be head position body Z. So I was talking about Z before. It's basically inverted when it's closer, at least from VTuber Studio. When it's closer, it's negative. So what I want to have happen with this is that the head goes down and the most subtle I might as well just do it from this end. I didn't hit the... Okay, so we put these on here. We go to negative. Pull the head section down. And then, well, we're not going to bother scaling. Please. 5 2D. Being difficult today. Is that too much? That's too much. I find you have to make it very subtle. I think it needs to go down a little more. Or else it just looks kind of off. I'm going to add a little bit of this to it. Actually, going back, let me just special copy this over. Because this is the entire head going up. And when it goes forward like that, this part should like shift up just a bit. So I mean like it's pulling the hair forward. Also, another one I want on here. Wait, did I do this backwards? Oh, 1 second. I don't think I'll have any issues. Last one on here is a body, head, body, Y. Just so I can have, when you go down a bit, you go down a bit. Hit the button scrib. You go down a bit. When you go up a bit, you go up just a little bit. The lean in will make it more prevalent. But it gives more options for, or more granularity, I guess. Hair could use some work, but I always feel like hair is acting a bit weird. Are these acting right? Don't feel they're acting right. Yeah, that's way too low. Try 0.7 and make these shake a little bit. We don't have like a lot of left-right movement on her, so... shakiness needs to go down a little bit on that. Reaction 2, probably. Oh yeah, the nose. The most horrible thing to work with. The eldritch abomination that haunts artists as much as hands. Once again, the Y's aren't being so much as the X's. No, noses are notoriously hard to draw because it's like a face thing. And it requires basically a mastery of light and shadow to actually get it to work. Which makes it just pain. I mean, this is anime girl, but still. Okay, I think I have the hair working right. Could be a little more, but it could always be a little more. I don't know if I'll actually get into like making this wiggle slightly. I think I'll leave it as is. Okay, one last thing before I get onto stuff. So I'm going to make a float toggle. Going to go from 0 to 1. We're going to have something on both of these. Float. And what we're going to do is we're going to have X and Y on here. Then we're going to have an unbreath. Or I mean a line on here. So when float is on and breath is all the way up here, we are going to go up. Whoops. This high. Otherwise, at the bottom end of it, we're going to only go up this high. So, nothing. Floating. So, you know, magic wing stuff. And it's variable, so you can have a little float, you can have a lot of float. That's how you do that. Sort of like with, the, you know, pigtails that, oh yeah, I need to do a bit of this. 1 second. So I'm going to add a bit of blink to this. We're going to make a blink derived. It is going to go from 0 to 1. It is going to be controlled by eyes opening and closing. And it's going to suck a little bit to make. Because I can't... Or can I? So, if I make a transformer that is like this, Nope. Nope. Just going back to, it's going to suck. Do you know how you rotate stuff without rotating stuff? You pull sides down and you pull the other the top left and right in different directions. However, given how this is working, it does not actually maintain size. So I have to grab just these 2 pixels because there's nothing between them after I move it to try and keep the same size. Stupid. It's one of those things like, how do you rotate a ping without, or a pixel image without like losing pixels? And there's a method to the madness and it sucks. So on input, we are going to have I left and I right. And they're going to be positional, strangely enough. They're just going to be 50-50 of this. And we're going to add a basic pendulum. This can stay a little shaky, so it can be at a 9. And its output is going to be blink. 182. Yep, see, they twitch. Now, all that's left is, first off, we're going to have to do the XY. So you go this way. This goes a little this way. Look down. This goes a little up. Look up. This goes a little down. We synthesize those corners and don't care after that point. Now comes the pain. So I'm going to put positionals on these. Whoops. I am too used to hitting rotate. Okay. Right wing position. And we're going to put these all on the tips. Oh great, it didn't select it. 1 second. I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Let's get back in it. That's the wrong thing. Did my camera die? That it did. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why. It just decided to turn off. Maybe I hit some magic button combination that I always complain about. Okay. So, right wing 1. We're going to put you like right here. Right wing 2. And put you right here. No, I didn't want to do that. Right wing 3. I can't spell. I'm going to put you like right here. You know, honestly, I think these two should be, let's go back. Okay, so you're going to move over to here. Focus pixel. Cool, that looks better fanned out. That was a mistake earlier. Right wing 3. And put that like right here. Right wing 4. Grab that and put it right here. And now I'm going to select all 3 of those and call it wing expression, or right wing expression. I'm going to use the secret trick of hitting this to just expand it a little bit so it isn't so close. Okay, all these are kind of inside of a cell, so that should be fine. It's body Z, lean forward, I'm going to expand these out. And leaning back will expand them in. Like -8? Sure. +12? Sure. Now you can see why I had thoughts on like what I wanted to do with this. -6. -8. Now these ones are going to go the other way, so this is going to be 6. And -8. And this is going to be 10. -8. Okay. Also, I'm going to grab the middle, which should only really affect those ones. Oops. Let's make you 9 by 9. I think that's about the limit of what Live 2D wants you to do. Nope, I don't want that. I think I can just grapple them this way. I might make a hybrid, like leaning down. I'll have it be a lean forward, so it'll be based off body Z and body Y. But I think it's a nice effect. Okay, I'm going to copy this, paste this, pray to the elder gods who don't care, and flip this. Now the question is this been flipped? So this should be... yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then I just go about moving these suckers in here. I'm not even going to change the name for now. Oh, I need to move the text in. Mistakes were made. It's all over. Oh god. What have I done? Oh crap. I can't do it like that. There. Since they weren't at default, everything would have been messed up and just slightly off than what it should be. It's just the way that transformers work, because it's going to move this when the default is off. Okay, I drop this in here, and then I drop this in here. And I'm going to make a wing lean Y. Wing lean Y. -1. And I'm going to collapse these so I can just grab everything and go whoop. And change you over to that. Go into physics. We're going to make a wing lean. I know it's a secondary one, but today I don't care enough. Okay, so we have body Z, we have body Y. I think I'm going to add smile on there too to expand it, because that seems fun. So smile is going to have to be negative. And so is body Y, because it's kind of backwards because of the... Okay, so you're going to be flipped, or no, you're going to be flipped, and you're going to be flipped. You are all going to be positionals. Or no, not positional, angles. You could be 50. You can be 30. You can be 20. -90. To 90. We add this in here. We'll keep it at 85. Its reaction time could be 0.9. Okay. I'm going to add a positional. Yeah, let's just do open eye. Positional from blinking. And we're going to reverse it, so blinks will kind of open this. And it will be like 60%. Okay, maybe a little less. Oh, I have a stupid idea. Okay. So... since those are all on... I hate how you can select like that. Because they were hidden, so you couldn't tell that you had them selected. Okay, and this will be wing, shrink, body, Y. And what this is going to do is what it says on the can, and push these together. And just going to expand them a little bit, flay them out that way. And now we have expressive winglets. The only thing I can think of is possibly have the legs cross a bit more on body going up. Just as a bit of something. Man, for all the pain they are, it does look nice and mechanically slick how they move together. However, I'm not seeing full length. Let me go pause this for a second. So if body Z gets pushed all the way in, I think I want a little bit more of the layout. So oh! Whoopsie. Okay, I see why. Body Z is a negative 10 to 10. Now we should see some real effects. Yep, there they are. Okay, let's bring blinking down to like 5. I want a little bit of influence, not it just flinging everywhere. Okay, I might need to adjust some of the angles on them going fully out. I think this guy needs to go a little bit more up there. Oh, that's why. Okay, cool. These guys are messed up as well. Look at that go. Could be some tweaks at the extremes. Maybe you... Let's see. Negative 5. Negative 4. And then you over here are at 4. Yeah, I think that does it. Might be better to pull it in, but I think my bed is made there. Or is it? Now we're talking. Okay. Take you, copy, paste. Flip. Take all you suckers and just put you into the new one. Wait, no. Mistakes were made. Yeah, mistakes were made. So we bring it back there. Now we put you in there because you're at the default. You're matching. Okay. maybe we could get a little more. Okay, 2 looks to be good for you there. So... -2 for you. Something's off. So let's get rid of you. Let's minimize you. Copy paste. Flip flop. And move all of you in. I think I'll just have to hand tweak this. I think it's just something like... they're slightly off. Whoop, that upset it badly. Okay, I think that's good enough. The thing with actually using positionals is that they're a little finicky at times. But take a look at that. Thank you. You can see why I had a thought that if I could just get them into some expression and a little bit of things, they would look quite nice. It's the upgrade she gets before she fights the boss. But yes, you get your new item. Now you can actually fight the boss as they splay out. Air's a bit iffy still, but I think that's just because of the way it just slams to another position while a human wouldn't. All I really need is like another ping on top of each one of these that is just a coloration of those so that they can glow on a phase. But I've been at this for about 3.5 hours, and I think I'm good. The only things I'd really want to do is try to get the middle of the body to follow it, but the sleeves are kind of screwy. I need to, like, figure that out more. But, yeah, I think I have something here. So anyways, thank you very much for showing up. Have a good time of day, everyone. And I'll boot you to this one, which is pretty much to say I need to update that bottom shill image, because if you want something like this, but I spend even more time on, you can hit up my VGen and commission one. I have a simpler, more game sprite model one that's like at about $20 or $40 if you want to have bigger area or more features, and I do pixel art. Mostly more like images instead of that, though I can animate a little bit. I really need to make just like a sprite GIF thing at like $30 even, where I'll give you like a couple animations But anyways, thank you for joining. Have a good time of day, and I will see you maybe middle this week. I'll figure out something for that. That's when I'll try and program. Anyways, have a good. Until next time.